Hello, fellow cyborgs, and welcome to my first original book tag. I've entitled it the Out of Time book tag, running out of time to read things for various devious reasons, and also time travel and being out of time and space. Question 1. You are going to die soon, very soon. Which next 5 books are you going to read from your TBR shelf? First up would have to be Patrick Rothfuss's The Wise Man's Fear, the second book in the King Killer Chronicles. Patrick Rothfuss is one of those humans that are just great. I wish he was my cousin, and then I would get to see him, but he would be obligated to see me 3 times a year. He seems like such an amazing person. I've read his Princess and Mr. Whiffle books, and the first one in the King Killer Chronicles, but I haven't gotten to this one yet, and I've had it for a couple years, and I feel that the 3rd book is imminent, maybe in the next couple years, so I want to read this. The next book on my list is The King of Cats and Other Feline Fairy Tales, edited by John Richard Stevens. I saw this in a little bookstore back in Vancouver, didn't buy it, and then my sister saw that it was on my Amazon wishlist, got it for me for my birthday last year. This is a collection of fairy tales that all have cats within them, and it's divided up into different countries, so you get a nice international feel, and I'm definitely a cat lover, cat person more than a dog person, so reading lots of fairy tales about one of my favorite animals I think will just be lots of fun. And since I've started fostering cats, it's even more applicable. Next is Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. This is the 3rd book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I loved the first, really enjoyed the second, and just really want to get this read for some reason. Well, when I finished the second one, this wasn't out yet, so that's how I lost some steam in that series, but the time has come. I want to read it. Next is Last Stand of Dead Men by Derek Landy. This is the 8th book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series. It is hysterical and witty and so much fun and full of magic and reanimated skeletons with an awesome main girl protagonist, Stephanie/Valkyrie. This is an amazing series. I'll probably do a longer shout out of it, but this is the most recent book. Haven't read it yet, reasons unknown, and I really want to, so it's going on this list. And last but not least is the 2nd Fairyland book called The Girl Who Fell Beneath Fairyland and Led the Revels There by Catherine M. Valente. I did a book review on the 1st book in this series, The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. Read it twice back to back because I loved the first so, and now I need to get on this 2nd one. Question 2. The Earth is about to be destroyed. Everything on it, all of humanity's written works. You have the ability to save the works of one author, sealed inside a vacuum-sealed, bomb-proof vault for anyone who comes after us to find, to, I don't know, represent humanity or the best of humanity, and you get to pick which author's works get saved. Which author do you save? I would choose to save the works of Bill Watterson, the creator of the Calvin and Hobbes comics. This is one collection of the comics called Yukon Ho, but these are just some of my favorite things in the entire world. They capture childhood and imagination and nostalgia just beautifully. They're hysterical and so smart. I didn't discover them until I was an adult, maybe 3 years ago. They're just brilliant for all ages. I love them so much, and I think that these comics are just the epitome of the things that I celebrate in humanity, and I think those would be the ones I would want to save. Question 3. You're going to die tomorrow. What book do you read today? I have known for a while that were I diagnosed with really fast cancer or something, and I needed to pick the last book that I wanted to read, I would want to reread Clive Barker's Aberrat. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It follows our heroine Candy Quackenbush as she is swept into this other world called Aberrat. There are 25 islands, and on each island it is only ever 1 hour of the day. There is a special, mysterious 25th island. This is just one of my favorite books. It's so imaginative. It's illustrated by Clive Barker if you get the specific editions. And it's got a nice metaphor about journeying and finding yourself, and I think it would just be a really nice friend to come to at the end of days. Question number 4. You are about to go on an arduous adventure and you have to give away almost all of your possessions, including almost all of your books. You have room to keep but 3, but every other book that you give away, you may never get to see your edition of it again, though you can rebuy another edition of it. Which 3 specific editions of books that you own are you going to save? I don't have very many sentimental books. I, over the years, have seen the value in the stories, not in what they come in. That being said, my mother read aloud to my sister and I the first 5 Harry Potter books. So, though I can't keep all 7, I would keep the first 3 Harry Potter books, the books that my mother held as she read aloud to us when we were trying to fall asleep. Those are the most sentimental books that I own. Question 5. Audiobooks are going out of fashion. You have been chosen to narrate the last recorded audiobook. Which book would you most like to read? This, for me, would be Lyriel by Garth Nix. It is the second book in the Abhorsen trilogy, but it is near and dear to my heart. I think that was one of the first books that I read as a teenager, which really solidified my love of reading. Question 6. You have the ability to time travel backward or forward to the book release of one title. To which book's release do you travel? I would really like to go back in time to the book release of one of the Harry Potter books because I was not a huge fan at the time. And I would really love to go back to one of those midnight releases with just all of the fans around and the hype and the energy. And so I think I would just arbitrarily pick Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Question 7. A la Agatha Christie in the 4th season of Doctor Who, which authors do you think humanity will never stop reading, given that humanity continues on forever? I would have to say the folklorists, so Aesop and Aesop's Fables, the Brothers Grimm and their fairy tale collections, and then also Hans Christian Andersen and his fairy tales. Question 8. Which book do you wish you could reread for the first time? Oh, this is not a hard question. I wish I could reread J.R.R. Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring for the first time. I read it as a part of a small book club. Me and my friend read it together, and I was in university and really stressed out and was already reading a lot of dry material, and I just slogged through The Fellowship of the Rings. I found Tolkien's writing style really dry, the pace really slow, the plot really uninteresting compared to the movies, which I had seen before. Sacrilege. No, it's not. We discussed this in one of my other videos, Book Shoulds and the Evils of the Should game. I will link it down below. So I really wish that I could reread The Fellowship of the Rings, a new pace where I am in my life, where some more academic reads would be encouraged, because I feel like my brain is rotting inside of my skull post-university. And last question, question 9. Is there any book you wish you could unread? Yes, there is one book that comes to mind I wish I could unread, which was Juliette Marlier's The Daughter of the Forest. There is a really graphic rape scene in it, which caused me to lem the book. I read it before I had read a lot of books in the romance and was comfortable with sex in books to begin with. I'm still not comfortable with rape in books, but I can deal with it better. I still remember the graphic rape scene in it. It really, really bothered me. Would I try reading it again if I could unread it? Probably. I know that Juliette Marlier is a wonderful storyteller, and her books are based off of fairy tales, which is just, give me a good fairy tale retelling any day and I will be a happy camper. But that specific scene in The Daughter of the Forest just really stuck with me, and not in a good way. That is it. That is the end of the Out of Time book tag created by yours truly. I hope you enjoyed. I would like to tag some of my favorite booktubers, most watched booktubers, to try to do this. That would be Kaz from Little Book Owl, Sana from Books and Quills, Padfoot and Brongs 07, and one of my subscribers, Vegan Yoga Mama. So if you feel like doing this tag, wonderful. If not, that's fine. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope this made you reminisce on the books you're not reading because we don't know why. And until next time, continue to be lovely.